Okay, so the first question I have for you is pretty much talk to me about would you describe your sound in general?
How would I describe my sound in general? I think I would just say a mix of all different genres that have influenced me. I find it really difficult to give it one word. I mean, some would say like maybe indie pop or alternative pop. But for me, I just make music and I try and combine things that I like.
Okay, and so you were talking about mixing sounds. Do you have who are some of your musical influences?
Regina Spektor is definitely has been a big musical influence for me. The Killers, the Alan Parsons Project from the 80s, Queen. Yeah, I'd say those have like really influenced my writing.
I just watched the Killers actually. Really good. So let's talk about your first sophomore album, which is called S.I.D.E.S. It's already out. It was out June 17th, I believe.
Yes.
So what was some of your songwriting process like for it? Do you need music before you can create the lyrics, or does it start the other way around?
I think with each album, it's different. For this album, I kind of just, I started writing it just before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and then it kind of went into a slightly different direction because of the events that happened. So I'm someone like the music kind of always sounds a little bit like what I'm going through. So it wasn't a great time, and I think the lyrics mimic that. And it's difficult to say what comes first. With every song, it's different. Like sometimes I'll hear a piano melody, and then I'll think of like a vocal melody, or sometimes I'll have like 1,000 ideas written down and just kind of piece them together. It's really kind of like a treasure hunt mixed with like a puzzle, like trying to piece a puzzle together.
Okay. Okay, so this record pretty much it's very different from when you start with Norwood, which is the first song that I heard from you. So it's just pretty much the evolution of your debut. And for me, it's a little bit darker, and it's a little angsty, which I love. And I don't know, what do you hope people take away from the themes that are a little bit deeper and more introspective, but also it gave me a lot of hope. This album gave me a lot of hope.
No. Well, as you said, it's very introspective. And I think what I kind of hope for my fans is that they understand that every album or every song for me is kind of like a journey. And it's never like one album is going to sound like the next album, or it's going to sound like the next album. Like for me, I'm very in touch with what I feel. And that always kind of represents the album or the music that I'm working on at the moment. So it'll always sound a little bit different just depending on what phase of life I'm kind of going through. So with No Roots, that kind of described a phase where I was very new to the music scene, had no idea who I was, what I was. And I think with this album, it's kind of just like an evolvement of who I am as a songwriter, showing different sides of my songwriting, showing also different sides of my passion for different styles and mixing styles, and at the same time telling a story from the beginning to the end, which people can kind of relate to, or at least they can know my story and know what I went through.
It was really good. I really liked it. Some of your previous singles include Rodrigo, Hero, and my absolute personal favorite, which is Same Team. Do you have a track that maybe stands out, or that was a little harder to record?
That was harder to record. Blindside was one that we kept going back and forth on. So that took a while, I felt. But just trying to think, Island was quite easy. Yeah, I think, and Same Team actually took a little bit longer as well because we changed the production. I wasn't, for me, the first production was too poppy. So I kind of had it produced then by someone else. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Let's go back to one of the singles, which is Vertigo, which was released with a sort of film. And how involved were you in developing the concept, the art for it?
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, sorry. How involved were you in developing the concept art for it? Like the idea behind
The artwork? I mean, I would say I'm very, very involved. I mean, I didn't paint it, but I basically was trying to figure out what the artwork is going to look like. And then I stumbled over this artist from Turkey who did these beautiful paintings, and I was obsessed with them. And I asked him if he could do my face melting on the side of a table. And so I sent him a picture of myself and asked him if he could just paint it. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he painted it, and I fell in love with it. And I love it so much. We discussed like the colors, that it should seem very bleak, very kind of bland. It shouldn't spark too many emotions, but the lips should kind of like stick out a little bit. And yeah, no, I am so thankful that he wanted to do it. I think his art is so beautiful. His name is Aykut, and he's very talented.
Yeah, well, the video is very beautiful, and it was very, very cool. So you have over 1 billion total streams globally. And well, like I said, your breakthrough was the single, which I love so much, No Roots. And it was pretty much an international smash hit with over 825 million streams. So you were also very popular on TikTok. And you were the first most Shazam artist of that year in 2018.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Crazy.
Amazing. So how do you feel about the response to your music?
I don't think about it that too much. Like, I don't think about the numbers too much. I kind of just hope that people will still enjoy the stories and enjoy the melodies, and that they won't be like too fixated on something sounding a certain way. I think for me, I really put a lot of like detail in the storytelling and in the actual like yeah, kind of like sharing with fans of what I'm going through. And I just hope that they continue to enjoy that journey and follow me on that journey of music making. So that's all I really want.
Thank you. Oh, you accomplished that. So you have an upcoming tour to promote the album, right? So are there any songs that you're most looking forward to performing live, and then why?
We started performing some of them live, and it's been so much fun. I was really excited to perform The Other Side because I imagined this kind of like anthemic feeling where it's at the end of the show and people are screaming like, I'm on the other side of it now. And it's so freeing to sing that in front of so many people because you just feel happy. Like you go out of the concert thinking, oh man, I feel good now. And that's one of my favorite things to do right now. So yeah, I enjoy that one.
Okay, and this is a personal question, but any plans on coming to Mexico, maybe?
Absolutely. Next year, we're hoping, if everything goes well, to come and play a few shows in Mexico and hopefully do a festival again. But yeah, fingers crossed.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll go to you. Is there anyone that you would like most to like collaborate with on a song in the future? Maybe anyone that you're dying to go around?
I've always dreamt of working with Regina Spektor, so maybe that one day works out. We'll see.
Hopefully. Is there like any album or band that you are currently listening to, and is there a reason why you like them so much?
Is there a reason I like them so much? I mean, the Killers have always influenced me a lot in my music just because of their storytelling, and I just think they're very talented. Like I love their music. I love their guitar riffs. I love that they play one melody and you recognize it anywhere. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you are a big part of social media. So what is an important way for you to connect with your fans?
I mean, I love connecting with them on social media. I think there's phases I have where I'm really active and I try and be less active just because it overwhelms me sometimes. How intense you have to kind of treat each like social media platform. So sometimes I'm very attentive and very in it, and sometimes I just kind of keep a distance.
Last question, sadly, for me. Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans, anyone that supports your music?
I honestly just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's listened to this new album and listened to the last album and who's just continuing on this journey. And I'm hoping to come to Mexico very, very soon. So don't lose faith. We will be back very soon. Everything just started opening up. So yeah, we're planning on coming back.
When you're in Mexico, just